So we're going to go over a couple things with the shadow footwork is different type of drills with the shadow footwork, like when you're using your shadow footwork fast, how to fix pieces when it's slower, things like that. So essentially, there's kind of some easy kind of patterns we can start with, right? When, say, for instance, we're struggling a lot with our defensive movement, we can kind of practice using, we can start off slow by practicing kind of the main kind of areas that are for defense. So for instance, if we're practicing our defense usually comes off with two different shots, our clears and our lifts, right? So when the opponent's attacking, you either are clearing or you're lifting, and that's when they're going on top of the shuttle, right? So first drill we can do kind of pattern-wise is we can come to the front, pretend like we're lifting high, and then as we lift high, we're practicing getting the timing not super fast back to middle, waiting and then going, but we're going to practice the timing where we lift high, we time it, kind of coming back to the middle, and then exploding out to the sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice one corner, come here, come back, explode out to the sides, come back to the middle, go here, explode out to the sides, come back to this corner here, explode out, kind of like this pattern, like this, boom, 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 like that. Second, then we can do another set. We can go here, boom, 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 right? From the middle, we go lift, we come back, we defend. We go straight to the net, we come back to the middle, we defend cross, boom, like this. And we can practice like the front two corners and kind of really making it so that we're getting the pattern. And right, and the footwork will be different actually when you lift high or if you lift flat, right? So if you're lifting high, right, what's going to end up happening is you're going to come back at a little slower pace, still really active with the feet, but you're kind of coming back with a little bit slower rhythm because you're lifting high. The shuttle has a lot more time to your opponent's stroke. So then you need to come back a little bit slower so that you're keeping that momentum as you come into the corner. If you run back fast and the shot is still in the air and your opponent hasn't hit it yet and you plant, then you lose all that momentum. And that's probably why sometimes a lot of you feel stuck is because you're maybe coming back too fast and then you're waiting in the middle for too long and then you're getting stuck in the court, right? Versus if you lift flat, then you won't come back slow. You'll lift flat and then you'll take one step and then split immediately from that one step because the flatter lift is going to get cut off faster than the higher lift. So then, for instance, if you're practicing a flat lift, then you would flat lift, take one step, split, and then go to the corners like this or like that, right? So we'll just talk about the high lifts for now, and then we'll talk about the light lifts after. And then, for instance, for defense, you can practice now from the back. Say you struggle when you clear, and then the guy's hitting defensive smash, right? These are all kind of scenarios, like whatever you feel like you struggle with, like your defense or your attacking plays. These are all things that you can kind of we can locate, and then we can practice that in the footwork. So you don't have to do all of it. It's just what you need to work on. So for instance, for defense again, you could go back, pretend to clear, kind of do that walking step back. Say if you do a high clear like this, you can take you can do shuffle or you can go walking, and both are okay because high clear, you have a lot of time. So then you can take that step back, you time it, and then boom, explode out, right? Same thing on this side. You could clear straight, come back, explode out. Then you can really just practice from the corner to the defense, corner to defense, corner to defense, corner to defense. So that's one way. And then you can kind of do an attacking pattern where you can go smash, run in, kill, then shuffle across, jump, turn, push, come in, kill like this. Boom, come in, kill. So this smash kill pattern is really useful when you're attacking and you're trying to finish and follow up really quickly, right? The only time where you're going to use this attacking shadow footwork, like say when you're scissor kicking and running in forward, is when the opponent hits it in this kind of area where you know you can attack with greater force. So for instance, if you're attacking from this line here, then you should smash and then run in because the most likely thing that your opponent's going to do is because they're catching it from a lower angle, because you're attacking from a closer spot, is that most likely they're going to play straight. So then that's your choice to follow up. Say, for instance, you're doing more of a backcourt and you're hitting down and you're not like full committing, then you wouldn't run right away. You would then do kind of like a shuffle step back and then use that shuffle step to split and push into the corners. That's a different scenario as well. That's kind of like rally style scenario where you would kind of poke your shot and then look for the next one because you don't really know where they're going because you know that the shot isn't going to be the most deadly shot. So there's kind of two ways, right? Attack, which is smash from here, run in, cross again, smash from here, run in. That's the straight pattern. Then you could do smash, cross, run in, go back, smash, cross, run in. That's another pattern where you can practice your attacking footwork. Then there's the other pattern where you're more of like a rally style attack where you smash straight, you kind of poach the back, and then you can push forward like this. Then you come back again, you scissor kick, you smash straight, then you kind of poach into this corner, and then you push out and accelerate, right? And the point of these type of drills is so that you can use that power of your split step to kind of move where the shuttle you think is going to go. Because sometimes when you do this type of footwork, the problem is that when you do shadow footwork, you're really just only really running, right? And the problem with just running around, so say like I'm in the middle and you're doing your defense, right? Like people will do defensive footwork and you would go clear and then you would just run to this corner because you know it's going there. But the point with the shadow defense is that you're still trying to create that split step and still trying to create that image that you don't know where the shuttle is going. So you have to practice your shadow footwork like you don't know where it's going. And that is what's really important so that you can react and do the same things that you would do in an actual match. Even though you know it's going into this corner because you're clearing and then you say you're going to the defense, you need to make sure that you're not just running there. And that's really crucial for your shadow defense because if you practice too much shadow by just running, and like say for instance your defense, you've already turned your feet to go this way because you know it's this way, then you're essentially cheating, right? Versus like coming back here, splitting square, right? Splitting with the feet square, facing the net, and then you're shifting your toes this way. Then you're turning the toes like that, and then pushing your hips to this corner, right? So making sure that it's like that instead of just running, right? And then there's also other scenarios where you're playing control. Like say for instance, you're doing a control drill. You can practice doing your late footwork where you're taking it in the corner here, in the forehead corner like this. You're taking it late, you're recovering back in, and then you're going to the straight. Then you're pushing, turning around, coming back in, right? You're going here, then you're coming back like this, kind of shuffling back in. You see it, you wait, you split, then you push out like this. Then you wait, you come back, you go here, you wait, then you see the shuttle, push. Obviously, you're just imagining that. You're not just running, right? Because if you say you play late and you just run forward, again, in a real match, the person could just push it over here or over here, and you would get stuck. So the goal is to always kind of have this recovery step and then learn to push off that recovery step as a split and then go somewhere. It doesn't matter where it is, but just having that like formula so that you can use it in a real match, right? And then there's kind of what I like to think about with my footwork is that I can do it in kind of a couple different ways. Whatever you do, say you're doing like 6 corner, just random footwork corners, right? You could do it for fitness where you're going, say, as fast as you can for maybe, let's say, 10 corners. Or so we could even time it. We could go 30 seconds on as fast as you can and then 30 seconds off. So say, for instance, we're doing fast, super fast, explosive footwork, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. You're just going boom, 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 going everywhere. Boom, 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 explosive, boom. And then you would take your break, 30 seconds rest. And that's one set. You could do that for maybe 8 sets, 10 sets, and that could be your fitness. So you could use your footwork as a fitness way. This might not help improve your actual footwork. This could help with your fitness and your explosiveness, but this doesn't get down to the roots of maybe your problems in your footwork. You could be doing the footwork wrong, but you're getting the fitness out of it, which is the purpose of doing it really explosive and fast. So if you're trying to work on more of how do I fix my footwork? How do I get all the way to the back? How do I get the right steps? Then you would have to do it a little bit more slow and methodical where you're taking your time, really trying to explode, like choose the movement correctly. For instance, when you're going from front to the middle to the side here, then you would not just, so say for instance, you're doing your shadow, you would come off this corner, you do the China jump, you would come back, but then you wouldn't just run right away to this corner. You would do your China jump, shuffle, and then kind of see where the shuttle is going, and then you would run to this corner. Then if you were here, you would China jump, shuffle, then you would shuffle again, and then run to this corner. Kind of getting the patterns correct, right? There's a bunch of patterns in badminton, and they're all different depending on the situation. For instance, I'm going to give you some examples. If you lift high, you're going to then take more walking steps back and go split from here. If you lift flat, then you're going to take one step and then split immediately. If you play net, then you're going to just shuffle back slightly and then go. these all are different scenarios that are going to happen when you play a different shot, right? So you can't expect to use the same footwork all the time for badminton because it just won't work. Different scenarios have different timings and different places you need to do it with, right? And then the second thing is when you're doing your foot, say for instance, you're trying to get more explosive power and learn how to create this fast to slow movement, which is really important in badminton, the change of speed, right? You don't want to always just be at one speed because it you kind of cap yourself at this minimum where if you're always at one speed, then it's really hard to change directions from the middle. But if you learn how to push out of the corner fast, slow down, and then explode out to the corner, and then once you hit the corner, slow down to control yourself, then once you hit here, explode back out with one step, and then slow down when you're in the middle. What I like to think about is when I'm doing my footwork, there's this kind of circle, like in the middle of there's like a kind of a circle in the middle of the court, or even like a box, let's say, like this box, or we'll say circle. Oh, what the heck? Oh, it's going wild. Okay. So there's this kind of circle in the middle of the court. And what you want to try and do is you're trying to get one foot. So say you're doing your footwork. You don't want to rush back into this circle. You almost want to feel like you're poking your one leg into this circle before you actually split step. And the reason why is because when you have one leg in this circle, right, you're going to end up having more momentum as you split into the corner. Actually, if you rush back to the circle and you have both feet in the circle, then before your opponent hits, you're going to lose all the energy because you've stopped, right? But if you can kick one foot in the circle before your opponent hits, then what's going to end up happening is as you split, you're going to still have that momentum as you travel back into this spot. So this is kind of like a little thing where this is essentially how you keep the flow and the rhythm of the rally. Say these are the corners, right? These are kind of the zones. You want to be in this scenario, you want to be speeding up to the zone. Then you want to be slowing down once you hit the zone. And then once you hit the zone, you want to be actually speeding back up until you get back into the zone here. Once with one foot is in this zone, then you can slow down. And essentially you speed up in between the zones, right? You take one step out, you speed up, and then you slow down once you get to these zones. And that's kind of like a good rule of thumb for your footwork, is to learn how to speed up and slow down to these zones like this, right? And what that will do is it will help make your footwork more efficient because you're speeding up and slowing down in the right areas. You're speeding up to get out of the corner, then you're slowing down just before the opponent hits so you can keep the rhythm, right? And vice versa. You need to make sure that when you're coming out of this circle, your first step out of the corner is really quick, right? You want to make sure your first two steps out of the corner are very quick in badminton because you need to accelerate faster to the shuttle. So if you always just run fast all the time, then it's really easy for your opponent to move you into a different direction. So say, for instance, you hit a shot cross, right? And you just run forward to the net and the guy lifts it. What ends up happening is you're going to have too much momentum going forward past this point, right? So this is our slow zone. You're going fast past into the slow zone. And then by the time you're fast in the slow zone here, you're going to then have momentum just going in this direction. So if you have momentum going into this direction and the person flicks you here, you're going to then get stuck because you have too much momentum going forward. That's why these zones are very important to speed up and slow down, because once you hit this spot here, right, you then can slow down and really watch where the shuttle is going and then use the idea of speeding up with 2 feet to then push into the right direction. Because when you go from a little momentum to push, you have a lot more speed change, right? Because if you're going really fast and you're trying to turn a corner, you're not able to actually turn the corner very well. So allowing yourself to do this is really, really important in your training and in your shadow footwork. So a drill that I really like to start off with when I'm trying to learn how to speed change is I almost feel like when I'm doing the shadow footwork is, so I start in the middle and then these are the corners, right? Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, my drawings are ugly. But yeah, so what I do is I start from here and I explode out in 2 steps as fast as I can to a corner, right? So I hit the corner, and just for the sake of learning how to split faster out of the middle, after I hit the corner, I just walk back. I don't rush back. I don't do anything. I just walk back and I take my time. Then once I hit this center piece again with 1 foot, I explode immediately into whatever corner I want. And then boom, I explode out and then I take my shuttle footwork. And then again, I really relax and I just walk back. And what this does is it really makes it so that you are really trying to change the speed from slow to fast. And it kind of gives you that idea of how to do it in a real match where you're kind of going slow to fast like this, just for speed change. Then obviously, once you get more used to it and better, you can speed up a little bit back to the middle and then slow down once you hit the middle and then speed up again. Then once you're coming back, you speed up. Once you hit the middle, slow down and then speed up again. So it's kind of like this fast and slow type of movement. And that will really help your footwork instead of just going in one fast pace all the time. Because in a real match, that's not what's happening. You're always slowing down, speeding up. The shot of your opponent's going to fake and slow down, right? There's a lot of things that go on. So if you can build this into your shadow footwork where you're really learning how to speed up and slow down, it will completely change your game versus just doing shadow footwork where you're just going fast, 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 fast all the time, right? So if you're doing footwork fast, fast, fast all the time, that's when you're going to just use it as a kind of fitness. And because it's a great way to do fitness because you're also using it in the badminton court. If you, number one, want fitness, do it in a super fast, explosive interval time, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off type thing. If you want to learn how to actually move properly and figure it out, you have to film yourself or get one of us to look at your videos and just do a slow, methodical footwork and really just practice trying to get from the middle all the way to the back in a very efficient way. So you feel like you're not really trying to get all the way to the back, but they get all the way to the back. And that's what we want because then you know you're doing the pattern correctly or you're doing the movement correctly to the corner. Because then if you've done the pattern so correctly with the recovery steps and the pattern itself to move, then you know you're getting it right. And that's the second way to do it, where you're trying to actually fix the technical piece of your footwork. And then the third thing is learning how to do the fast and slow kind of change of pace movement, which is also very important. And that's when you'll do like the fast out, fast a little bit in, slow down once you hit the middle, and then fast again like this. Right? Does that make sense? So yeah, these are kind of the three ways you can do it. And yeah, if you have any questions and what I said is a bit like overcomplicated or something, you can just let me know and I can make these drills a little bit more simple and explain it in a better way. I'm just trying to get all the details out for this. Okay. I hope this helps. Thank you. See you later.